matter what I was doing, I had to be there. I had to, no matter what was going on in my life, I had to stop it and produce a show or be there at the station on time every day for almost 10 years. Maybe I'm the first person that many European white people have shook their hand. Maybe they never did that before. At some point, I started to take care of my life. I stay pretty much to myself. They put us together in a hotel room. We go in the hotel room, and it was blood, fresh blood.
You're like, oh my God, free.
Look?
We are free now.
Yeah, you know what that means, right? You have controversial questions there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I have a little bit prepared. Yeah, and there are questions. There are questions. I don't know. But it's so funny. You really at the beginning with me. Yeah. And but that's what makes it so charmant. Yeah. So I'm simple. Yeah. Where should we start? Should we?
I don't know.
Do you want to start? Do you remember how you met me?
maybe at the Omen.
Really?
Maybe Underground Resistance, our first tour.
Yeah.
And we did Frankfurt. And we performed. I'm not sure if we performed. I think I DJed as part of the tour.
Yeah.
And that was the first time to play there, first time to go to the club, first time in Frankfurt, I think.
When was this?
93, early 93?
It has to be 94.
At the end of 92, maybe?
I started 94.
In 94, okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So you weren't there from the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, and well, then maybe it could have been... I don't know. I mean, I was in Germany. I was living there for a long time. So...
Miss Marble, do you want to come here? Come here. But don't... Come. Yeah, super. Maybe this is a good gimmick for the show.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I was... I spent most of the... Then I was in the 90s. I was there. I was in Germany most of the time.
Yeah.
I lived there in Berlin. So I was all around those, all those cities, small villages.
When I remember when you, where I've noticed you the first time really, and I already always thought you make the best soulic techno music, what you can do. It's so groovy and still it's so fast forward, and this how it back in the days, and I couldn't stand still when you were playing, and nobody was allowed to go on stage while you were playing all this. And Frederick, he went crazy if somebody, he kicked, he grabbed people, he kicked people out. And I've noticed you were DJing could it be that you were sitting or something like this?
No, always standing.
But somehow it was like, and you just threw those records behind you, and you didn't put them back in, and I was like, oh my God!
Yeah, it was a mess. Yeah, it was a mess. But I mean, it's timing, and my thinking was once I play the record, it's done, and so I let somebody else deal with it.
How did you find him again?
Well, you just kind of scrape everything up and put them in the box and sort them out in the hotel later.
Oh, okay.
But but it was, it was a very timely thing. So I didn't want to miss the breakdown, or I didn't want to miss the mix, or and so it was a very, very sensitive, very touchy to, with time, playing with time, and so yeah. I mean, it comes from the 80s when I was on the radio and you got, this amount of time to play, and you need to play all these records, and so you just kind of, but it was, I thought it was necessary in the early 90s to play music, not just one track, but in a more of a mosaic type of fashion.
Yeah.
Which was different at the time, and so, but yeah, it was exciting. I'm sure it was exciting to watch and crazy to see, but it was a method to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said that you're interested in doing this interview because you thought it was interesting to talk about the past, to talk about the 90s, to talk about what happened, what the revolution, what we did, how everything was so much with passion. And I talked with Gregor about this too, you know. He thinks everything is still good now, and I don't want to say that it's not, you know, but it's, you always have the feeling that in the 90s, when everything was made because of the passion and never because of benefits, of money, of, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, how do you feel about this whole century?
Yeah, aside from what the public would normally see, you know, the picture of the person on the front of the cover of the magazine or in the DJ booth, there was, as you can, maybe agree with, it was an army of people that were making a lot of things happen. And most of the people were not the ones in the DJ booth and, on the cover of the magazine. Yeah. I mean, for each person, you literally had a team of, for each DJ, notable DJ or artist, you had a team of people that, and it's still the case now, you know.
Yeah.
You had a team of people that were, organizing movement, finance, the financial part of it, contractual part, the marketing, promotion, the image, and the public never really seen that. I think it's difficult to explain, actually.
But why do you want them to see that? It's the focus should be on the, excuse me, the focus should be on the act, you know. It's you always know it's a machinery behind it, but it's that's why it's always that the stars say thank you to my team and thank you and
no, I can remember in the early 90s when things were not as organized as they are now. and you had people that were nefarious and maybe up to no good coming into and taking advantage of things, having DJ come and not paying them and disappearing at the end of the night. And
true.
So we kind of without purposely organizing, but we really kind of weeded out a lot of the bad people in the industry by reputation and saying, this person is, and so that took a couple of years, and this is what I mean by this army of people that kind of really built this industry of dance music.
Like Talida.
Yeah, and many. Which
one was my camera? This one.
yeah. But many people contributed to the to this industry, and and that's just the the touring, but when you even the record labels and things like that. I mean, between distributors and retailers, and it was all, we were all forming this organization and organizing together to make things better. So that people could do it for a career and do it full time. But at first it was kind of spotty. It was difficult. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I didn't get paid, or I arrive in a place and there was no hotel.
You're not the only one. This belongs to someone's. There's always something where it goes wrong. And you have every questions in the front. What is done? Is this done? Is this done? And it's still, I have the feeling that people don't do a checklist. You know what I mean? And okay, we forgot what, somebody has to be picked up from the airport.
Right.
The most terrible cars, or then you get in a hotel where you have to pick up the key up front before you go to the...
I mean, I remember staying in a hotel. I think me and Mike Banks, we were staying. It was somewhere, I can't remember, but they put us together in a hotel room. We go in a hotel room, and it was blood, fresh blood.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. It was fresh blood on the carpet, We were like, okay, we can't stay here. But it was not common, but it was, frequent that it was you keep your fingers crossed that things are going to be okay, and sometimes
So every gig is a challenge.
it was it was definitely, and so you really relied on hearsay for a lot of things, and yeah, I pay my dues. Sleeping on the floor, sleeping on, just...
We all were beginners, We knew by doing it where to have to focus on, where to look at the next time. And that's why it's getting more and more complicated. Yeah. Because you try to avoid it, like a... That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think of the 90s, what is the first feelings that comes in your mind?
90s.
If you think what feelings, what comes in your mind?
It was big cultural mix, we were from America and going to countries that we had never even thought we would end up being in front of people that we would never think we would be playing music for. And it was really a big cultural mix. It was, there were a lot of introductions for a lot of people experiencing things for the very first time. I'm sure I'm the first person that many European white people have shook their hand. Maybe they never did that before, or maybe they never had a conversation with a black guy from America, or maybe they. And so
but the Germans are so open-minded, especially when come here.
But then it was. I mean, it was not like it is now. Then it was still a land of discovery.
Now everybody behind the stage was hugging the hell out of you. I got afraid for you. It's like a dynamic started there. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, you have to imagine the early 90s, 92, 91, 92, going east, deep in the east.
You're from Detroit, yeah? Sorry if I sorry.
Yeah, from Detroit. And it was a shock. It was shock, never seen these type of places before. And dealing with people, you don't speak the language, but somehow you gotta make it work. Southern Italy and all types of Scandinavia, and in some mountainside, or and so I think the best word would be cultural mix, and what we were doing, I think we were making a very universal way to be, in order to be able to be in this industry and travel around. I mean, I couldn't. It probably would have been difficult for me to maintain a real Detroit mentality. And travel around.
Detroit
so I had to kind of smooth it out a little bit, and
having an attitude.
And so and so it was new for all of us. Many people, we really were learning as we were performing and DJing and traveling. We were all learning, and so.
Where's your favorite place actually to go to play? In which country?
Now, you mean?
Yeah.
Or then?
Is it? I think it's Japan, isn't it? No.
Yeah. No. It was Japan back then.
Okay.
Japan was on fire, as every DJ can contest. It was just out of control, and what I mean by that is that the excitement level was just from the very first moment all the way until the end. It was just, and you do any little thing.
You're still talking about Japan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any little thing. Take the bass out, put the kick in, and it just explodes. Yeah, it was.
I mean, I've been there with Sven. To Bump.
Yeah.
And I think so too. It's a sweet culture.
Yeah. But now, wow, I don't know. I mean, it's. I still like the major. London. I still like London.
Okay.
I still like New York. Because of the possibilities of what could happen. Because you have so many exotic people.
Okay.
And so
exotic.
Yeah, I mean, just people that are just progressive.
Okay.
And so anything could happen in these type of. You have people walking around these cities that know music so well, you know, that they react when they hear something that's new and different, and they know the feeling, and so because they have long history of dance club music and stuff like that. Yeah, those places are still, I think, still really exciting. Tokyo, Rome, these major cities where these wild animals are walking around, living these obscure lives, and they come to these parties, and it's just, I still love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What just popped in my mind is that when like your colleagues, they have so highly respect for your technic vision with your 909. I think it was the 808 come from you, no? Or is that
909.
the 909? And I made a picture of it actually because I couldn't believe you still. So this will always be your.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been using that since the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. And this was some of the DJs wanted it too and had it too, and then they requested it for their gigs. And it was the worst thing you can get as a promoter, as equipment. It made the life hard. So every time I hear or I see a 909, I always have like,
Yeah, when it took to get it. Yeah.
No, but where I want to come back to was that they are so. By the way, Sven said to tell you hello. I saw him yesterday, and it's amazing when I'm listening to people when you name drops and all this. Do you notice that yourself, that you have such a high standard outside?
I stay. I mean, even I don't. I stay pretty much to myself.
Yeah, you are.
In the overall. Yeah, I don't hang out.
Yeah.
I don't. Party hard. I still love. I think because of that, I can still love music, and so I was always older than most people, too. Also. So when I came to Europe, I was, I had been through all that. And I knew the value of leaving the party and going to get sleep.
Yeah.
To get up in the morning to eat breakfast.
The value, exactly.
So I was a little bit older,
very smart. Yeah.
And so and I knew that this was the long game. That if I'm going to make a career, I can't burn out. I can't fizzle out. It's so easy to do. Free drinks and whatever, and so I always took it seriously. That part of it, not as fun. I didn't meet as many girls. I didn't have that many
But you are married.
Parties. I'm married. Yeah. Almost 30 years ago. But I mean, like early in the 90s, I didn't do all that. I just stayed focused on the music and producing music.
This is you can tell that this is your passion in and out. Yeah, it's like if watching you, even when you are gone, you're not even there. You in this moment, you like, oh, this is how it seems, that you are full.
Yeah, at times. But I think that's normal for any DJ to.
Well, they interfere with the people, with the crowd, and all this, or dance.
No, I don't think that's what that.
Yeah, but there you see that it's really not important to be a clown behind the act. If you deliver and you have your way of communicating yourself, then it's good, and you don't have to always renew yourself.
No, I always knew, because I entered into music professionally at a very young age.
Oh, okay.
Quite young. I started 17 years old, a young 17 years old. And early on, I did radio, and it was live radio. So,
cool.
so I could not be late. I could not miss. It was my show. So I could not. So no matter what I was doing, I had to be there. I had to, no matter what was going on in my life, I had to stop it and produce a show or be there at the station on time every day for almost 10 years.
What?
And so Christmas, weddings, funerals, whatever.
Every day.
Every day.
For 10 years.
Except Sunday.
Okay.
Except Sunday. I didn't do shows on Sunday, but it was six days a week, two shows a night, sometimes produced, sometimes live. And then on top of that, I would later go from the station to the club, and I did like residencies, three clubs at the same time. And so...
What kind of music did you...
Oh, it was mostly house.
Okay.
Rap, hip hop at the time. This was all through the 80s, and then I started traveling around the country from LA to Texas to Atlanta, and for the station. And so at a very young age, I had to be really responsible, and so I
yeah, of
I
course.
didn't have time
Yeah.
to
This is where all
to mess
comes
around.
from.
Yeah, and so by the time I came to Europe, I had this discipline, and this.
But when was we always say that everything started in Detroit, the history of techno, electronic, some people argue about it,
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
it's
I don't know if it's worth trying to. I mean,
no, but this is it's the gay people in the scene. They started it a little bit more in their music, but it's
I don't know. Probably not really that important.
yes,
But I would imagine. I mean, it's probably safe to say that it wasn't started by one person or one group.
no.
That at that time in the late 70s, the world was very much in a dance music mindset because of disco. I mean, it had exploded. It was everywhere on every continent, every city, and then before then, there was a lot of experimentation in the 60s with rock and all types of, and then, back to the 30s, Bauhaus and all. I mean, it just,
Yeah, true.
it's hard to really tell. But the mindset and the mentality to have your own label, to have your own sound, and you take care of that. I think that was pretty much I think that was a Detroit thing, and not with Detroit Techno. It was with Motown, with Berry Gordy and this independent mind, and our sound here, and this is the sound of our city and things like that.
Yeah. But how did you occupy this to out of the country? How did this?
Because America didn't want us. We didn't have much of a choice.
Really?
Yeah.
Now did you? I remember something like this.
No, it was.
Yeah.
Because of the racist past of the country, and also music industry, and just anything that is coming from a Black community was met with suspicion and skepticism, and it's not.
I mean, if you look at the history, it's just like this.
It's the history of the country, and and so Detroit Techno really was caught up in that, and there had been, of course, successes, Derek, Juan, and Kevin, and things like that, but it was still there. By the time Mike and I, Underground Resistance, it was still pretty much there, and within the dance music community.
Are you still sticking together?
Yeah, we speak all the time. Okay. I mean, when you do all that, it's like a marriage, right?
Okay.
And when you do all that, you're tied together.
Okay.
For sure. And but yeah, I mean, we didn't have much of a choice. We did as much as we could, and then realized that if we're going to continue, we have to go somewhere else. And so we didn't want to go to the UK because that's where Derek, Juan, and Kevin went, and things were so. So I had a connection in Germany. You know, I knew Carola Stoller from Tresor. So I called her up and said, look, you know, we got this album, we're doing this and that. And they were like, okay, come on over. And that's how, you know, we started. So we started really in Germany and then went to other places.
Started from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What was the moment in time that shaped you most as an artist?
Yeah, small situations. I mean, you know, for a long time, I would never even think to speak on the microphone. You know,
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean that would just be not even in the consideration. I mean, but but at some point I realized that, you know, it's sometimes good to speak to the audience.
Yeah.
And to say to, you know, and so things like that. I mean, you know, there was a moment where I didn't have much of a choice. I was kind of forced to speak on the microphone, and luckily things worked out. And then from then, you know, you kind of.
But you seem like you feel comfortable.
Yeah. Well, you know, it took.
Okay, we can stop putting.
You know, yeah, my voice is about 7 octaves higher than I wish it was, but yeah, I mean, no, yeah, of course, there's been, you know, yeah, many things that I never thought, but eventually realized that I probably should, like playing with other musicians, moving away from dance music for a while.
Meaning?
Mentally. Still DJing, but taking care of things in my normal everyday life.
Okay.
Because if you wake up and you know, you don't have a place to stay, you don't have a place to get there, you don't have a, you know, so at some point I started to take care of my life quietly, discreetly, without, you know, and buy a house and get all the things for the house and then another house and and you know, all these other things, and you start to prepare for later in life when things begin to naturally wind down. You have a place to go.
Sounds
great. Things to do, and
yeah, why not?
Yeah, and so and part of that was moving into other genres of music, classical and jazz, and when the intensity of dance music will naturally die down, I have other things to do.
Okay.
And other things to explore. So
So are you successful somewhere else? What we don't know about?
well, I mean, say like classical. I've been with classical music for 25 years.
Wow.
Quarter of a decade. And so I've scored maybe just for classical performances, I've scored 6 or 7 scores. Film soundtracks, maybe 18, 19.
Wow.
19 film soundtracks.
Get the fuck out of here. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, moved to, you know, I was always interested in contemporary art. So I've done 3 or 4 solo shows. I've done, you know,
Impressing.
film, documentaries. We just shot one over this past few months in Detroit.
Okay.
Like a TV program. Yeah, I mean, I've always done many other things other than DJ, and big collector of things too. You know, so I collect a lot of things. Right now, I'm collecting meteorites.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Did you hear this? More danger.
Yeah. So.
Should we come to the next question?
Yeah. Sure.
You've always been known as a visionary and forward-thinking. How do you look back on the 90s and the 2000s when so much in the scene was still new?
You know, because so much was happening at the same time, there was really no way to really see it, you know, have a composite as to what was going on. But I mean, at least for the tribe I was running in, I mean, we were making lots of progress. I thought for a moment, for a certain part of the 90s, techno music was still pretty much connected to rave culture. And it was there were still fragments and of this rave culture, this mind out of mind type of but then at a certain point the music began to kind of move on its own, to develop its own type of characteristics.
Exactly.
And it was beginning to break away from rave culture, and still large events, but it was.
But don't you have the feeling that nothing is new? Everything
No,
is just
no, I'm not so sure about that. No, I definitely some things are new.
Really?
Let me give an example.
Okay.
Around this time, certain producers and certain DJs were playing, and I was trying to play a lot of this music. I don't exactly would classify it under the definition of music. It was something. This was around 1995, 96. Something was happening where I guess producers and DJs were realizing that it wasn't really about music. I mean, it is classified as music, but there is a form of communication that was much higher than rhythm and much higher than beats. And so in my opinion, that's when techno really began to take giant leaps forward. Of course, the media didn't pick up on this, and the general public didn't really notice this, but I was in touch with a lot of DJs, and they were thinking beyond the audience and thinking beyond the typical scenario, and they were producing music that was new, that had never
in the 90s, yes.
In the 90s, yeah, that had
yes,
never been produced like that before, and there were never any artists that ever produced music like that.
Exactly, but now but from the 90s, do you think that now is a new, is something new coming? Because you say like it was like rock and roll, it was disco, it was techno, and so what's now?
What's new?
Yeah.
Or what could be new?
Yeah.
This is what I'm sensing that for I don't know, long time, 40, almost 45 years, dance music has been pretty much in a very 4/4 repetitive type of form.
Yeah.
4 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 4.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing and I'm sensing that there's two things. One thing is that DJs and artists want to break away from this 4/4. It's almost like a handcuff. And so.
Yes, really, I never thought of this, but it's everything is all about this.
It's locked in this 4/4 scale, and I think subconsciously it's not connected to the world and the time that we're in. It's more abstract, and it's not, this 4/4 thing. There's one beat, and then there's another beat that is the same distance between those two, and another beat after that is the same distance between beat 2 and 3, and the same distance between 3 and 4. Yeah. And this predictability, in my opinion, doesn't speak to the way that the world is evolving.
Exactly.
It's much more, and so I'm hearing this in the music. So different scaling, different combinations of different, and I'm
interesting,
and because I'm especially seeing this in jazz, because I'm in a band and we tour around and I'm playing with other musicians, and I see that this need to kind of break away from the norm and to just create things that don't seemingly make sense, but they're your honest reactions.
But music, music is emotion. You dance, you get free. It picks you up in all kind of levels. What you are,
Yes, but we made it with conditions. So a techno party is
But it
where you're
works.
supposed to play techno,
Yeah.
and a house party is where you're supposed to play house music. And so we made these conditions,
Yeah.
and we're locked in it, and it's become. And I see people really wanting to break away from that mindset, and so I don't know. I can't really describe what it's going to sound like, but I can feel it, and it's not just going against the grain because it's going against the grain. It's going against because you feel it's more.
And I know
justified.
exactly what you mean, and this is what I say. It's nothing is new in a way of, and that's why it's so interesting that you're saying there is something new in the air, but it can't be because
It's our generation, and we were very strong people and very opinionated people. Our generation, and so we, in my opinion, still control too much. And we have a fix on dance music, and too many of us don't want it to change, and so. I think there's where the resistance
So this is going to be interesting. Huh? We're going to continue this.
How important was the exchange with other artists for you back then compared to now?
Oh, it was really, and in fact, I think like now, because we don't exchange so much, we lost something. But then, we would exchange a lot, not just music, but also information about where the good parties, good clubs, good promoters, good audience, good record shops, good studio equipment. I mean, we would have these long conversations about stuff. And
you think it was more a community than it's today?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I felt it back then. This is the only thing what I really feel sorry about. That for now it's normal for those people because they don't know how it could be, and this is. But it's really the community felt stronger. We were all in one boat, and we were not. And it's like yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we knew. I mean, DJs didn't play the same type of music. We didn't have the same type, but everybody at that event knew what the objective was, and so we were tied together in that way. Even though we didn't have much, I mean, I knew you were with Sven, and you go in this direction. And I was with Frederick, and we were doing this and trying to do that, but the objective was the same. And at the end of the night, we were all tired. We all wanted to go to sleep.
Or party.
Yeah, or party.
Many people see you as a serious, reserved artist. I said this at the beginning, yeah. I find your music super power and soulful. Yeah, this is what I think. What would you say to those people?
Thanks.
Fuck you.
I don't think so much about that.
It's good. Actually, it's good, But it's you are, like you said, you're not the communication type. You rather go to sleep and not be in party, and
Yeah, but I'm no good if I can't get up.
Yeah, exactly. But this is you, and I think this is, and everybody respects this, and.
Yeah, something. I'm like collectively. I'm not sure collectively what all the people, all the different generations, all the events like this, and what will really be remembered. 100 years from now. I don't know. I don't really know. What do we remember 100 years ago?
What do you think going to be remembered?
I think that there's a chance that we will remember those that went against the grain, even if it wasn't popular. I think we might remember those people that were experimenting and trying new ideas and not just playing the predictable, not just, you know, we might, I don't know. I mean, I'm 62 and my memory, what I,
No.
yeah, 62. And so, you know, what I remember, it doesn't seem to change, you know, the things that like coming to Germany for the first time, you know, in a band, you know, in Kreuzberg, in the middle, I think it was winter time. It was so cold, and this apartment didn't have any heat, and
Ach, du
some
Scheiße.
guy came to the door with coal. He had like coal, like, you know, the coal that you
Yeah.
and gave us this coal to heat up an oven, and that was our heat. And we I remember sleeping on the floor close to this oven, and we had just a TV, but I remember on the TV it was a video channel, and they were playing Baby Ford. Uchi Coochie. Did you remember that? Do you remember Uchi Coochie? And it was a strobe light video.
And I can imagine the little orphanage.
Yeah, and we were like in sleeping bags on the floor and watching Uchi Coochie and they were coming for this festival. It was the first festival that Tresor did at the time.
Yeah.
And 808 State was there, and all these people, and you know, Greater Than One GTO was there, and yeah, and so I keep these memories,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. This is funny.
and you know, and yeah, just all types of
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
wow.
All right.
Yeah. From my side, do you have a
Just-
question or something you want to tell the world?
Oh no, not really. You know, Bonne nuit.
You want
Right.
to- Okay. Good. Thank you.